Hi there, it's Mary Bell, your dating and relationship coach, author of 400 Dates. And in today's talk, we're going to address the time factor. That is chapter 8 in the book. One of the most common reasons why people find it difficult to date is because we are busy and have time commitments with work, family, communities, etc. And finding time to date is definitely a challenge. So you must gradually incorporate bits of time consistently in order to be successful at dating. What I see happening is people get on a dating app, they sign up maybe for free or they sign up for a month and they start real excited, scrolling, mostly swiping left because they're focused on maybe just judging the book by its cover. So after an hour or two of scrolling and not finding anyone that they find attractive, perhaps the next day they'll get back on the app and try again. But this can also be frustrating. And again, 2 or 3 days later, they start scrolling again. They might get a like or two, a message or two, but they're not ready to really answer those. And again, it goes by the wayside because unless we make dating a priority, it's not going to happen. Much like exercise or getting enough sleep or cutting down on scrolling on social media, this has to be a determined effort. So, what I suggest is that you take a time audit. And how that works is you write down how much time you're spending on time wasters such as social medias, binging, scrolling, perhaps your favorite TV shows and other recommendations by other people. Take your time and do that for a week. So, in that assessment, perhaps you can find a window of time where some of those unproductive things can be replaced by more productive efforts towards your dating life. So, if finding a relationship is important to you, I believe that as adults, we will take time for for what matters and how much time per week you dedicate to your dating efforts is individually up to you. Let me suggest that you should batch your dating efforts instead of checking apps all day long. A dedicated 30 minutes or an hour is more effective than trying to figure out who's tried to text you all day long. I am pretty sure, like myself, when I was dating, I would come up with excuses such as, oh, I'll focus on dating when work slows down. Well, the reality is that life never slows down. We remain busy, and the best time to date is now because if you don't take the time, time takes you. My other excuse was, I am a parent and I don't really have time to date. The reality is that single parents are successfully dating when they make dating a priority. Another excuse is, oh, I don't want to waste time and energy on the wrong people. The reality is that a clear dating strategy and pre-vetting efforts can definitely minimize time wasters. Maybe I've got too many projects at the moment, and dating doesn't seem to be in my radar. Well, that could be true, and if it is the truth for you, then maybe you're not ready to date. But the reality is that dating doesn't have to consume all of your time, and it should feel like a good activity and something that would eventually enhance your life. The reality is that finding a great partner will take effort and will take investment of time. Anything worth having is worth working for. So do a weekly time audit to find time in your schedule when you can dedicate to dating. Decide how many hours per week you can commit and schedule time for dating on purpose, just like any other priority in your life. To make dating more efficient, make sure that you are pre-vetting people, batching your efforts, and perhaps talking on the phone or doing video chats before you have a one-on-one in-person meeting. Let go of the "I'm too busy" mentality. Instead, change your mind and start making those conversations a priority. When you prioritize dating, you will find time and soon you will figure out systems that work for you consistently. Human beings were meant to be connected. Don't fill your life with so much stuff and busy work that you don't have time for people. Find time in your schedule to get to know people. If you are always booked, your potential dates might not see themselves sharing time with you. And it's not sexy to be too busy. So make sure that when you are making those connections, that you're relaxed and that you are finding time for that connection to happen. Be patient, be consistent so that you can find your partner. This is my take on dating apps as well. When you get negative and start to think that all those profiles are fake and think that, oh, all those people who like you and don't say anything or send you little stickers and don't really interact with you make your heart hardened, I encourage you to open up to the possibilities that time is your greatest asset, and that if you are on the app interacting with real people, your possibilities for a face to face, real human connection will increase. One last warning that either in person or on your profile, you shouldn't sound like you're way too busy for a relationship, because you're dealing with savvy consumers who can read between the lines, and if you're too busy, they can't see themselves in your life. So make sure that when you are talking about yourself and all the activities that you are committed to, say community, volunteering, spending time with your friends, dedicated to tennis or your hobby, that you also talk about leisure time and time that you dedicate for making meaningful human connections.